Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Double G here. We're in episode 28 in the Elm Creek series. So we've progressed into November and I'll go ahead and feed the dog. Suppose it's a really good thing I put the doghouse close to the front porch where we always progress. And, oh, there he goes. Going the wrong way. He'll be back. Alright, so in the last episode we started off in August. And there really wasn't much to do, so I checked the water in the greenhouses, checked the sheep food. The chickens needed food, so I filled them up. Also, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I also have some sorghum in here that we can feed them. So, I was thinking we were down to just the barley, but there's 1,500 liters of sorghum, which is almost a month's worth, which all plays into getting us back to the wheat harvest, which is nice. So after I fed the chickens, we progressed into September, and I planted wheat in 44, 45, and 46. We've got some pretty massive weeds now, and they've been fertilized 50%, but we have plenty of time to take care of all of that. I moved the eggs and the wool to make sure we have plenty of room for them to spawn, and then I progressed into October. And then the cotton was ready, so I leased the case harvester. We harvested the cotton and delivered all the wool we had and the cotton to the spinnery, so that should keep it going for a minute. We should have 3,000 or 4,000 liters, I believe it was, by the time it comes time to sell the fabric in April. And then I returned the harvester on the trailer, which I probably shouldn't have done, but it was fun, so we did that. And then, as I was talking about at the end of the last episode, I did go ahead and cut, bale, and wrap the grass in 48 and 49 off camera. Just to break doing this and planting the I also planted the wheat in field 50 to flip it over. That would have taken a whole episode, even time lapse and things, and it's just monotonous gameplay that we've already been through, so I didn't really have a problem doing that off camera. I did subsoil 50, planted wheat. It also has weeds like the other fields, and it's also 50% fertilized. So basically this field is in the same state as this field and the other two, only 1 month behind. So as long as I can hold out, I will harvest them all together. If I'm running out of food, I can harvest these three 1 month and then this one the following month. It's not a big deal. So that puts us in November, where we are now. And it's time to get the sugar production going. So we have this field number 53. Sorry, I had to pull up the map to make sure I wasn't lying to you. 53 with a ton of sugar beets in it. And we need a sugar factory, the sugar mill. So I'm going to put the sugar mill on this top corner of the field, which means I'd have to harvest the sugar beets out of it first. Probably from this angled point. See, it's square here, then it angles. So probably from that angle point all the way across, we'll get that harvested, drop in the sugar mill, and then we'll be able to harvest the rest of the sugar beets and put them into the sugar mill. There's the distinct possibility that we have more sugar beets than the mill can hold, in which case I've downloaded a mod that we'll look at in a minute. That's a root cellar that holds 100,000 liters of sugar beets, cut sugar beets, or potatoes, which is handy. I could just pile them up on the ground, but I can't really cover them like you would in real life, so I'll go with that mod instead. The issue is we only have $22,000. That might cover the cost of the harvester, but the sugar mill is $80,000. And if I need to get this root cellar, that's $50,000. So we need to build up some money. Luckily it's November and the eggs are ready to sell. I do have this silage that's completely ready to go if I have to sell it early. I have this silage that's at 87% fermented, and I have lettuce. But I looked at the chart. Silage sells best in December in 1 month, and the lettuce sells in January, which is 2 months. If we look at it, Wrong tab. There you go. If we look at the silage, I can get it $5.59 at the dealer right now. And $5.59, $5.79. We're looking at maybe a 15 to 20% hit over the top price. Maybe not even that much to sell the silage in November it's actually best in January, not December. Okay, so that was different for this year. Last year it was December. If you look at the lettuce is going in November for best price $29.71 versus $33.18. It's more like a 50% hit on the spread from low to high. So if I have to sell something early, and I probably will, silage would be the one I want to sell, because in terms of percentage, I'm going to take less of a hit by selling it early. And then eggs should be this month. They are $42.75 high, and we're actually at $43.07 and $43.09. For a $2 difference, I'm not driving to the farmer's market. I will just go to the fast food restaurant across the street. So that is the next thing to get accomplished to generate some money. Actually, before I jump in the truck, we can look at this as well. So the sugar beet harvester, this Grimmy that we're going to lease, is actually $24,000. I only have $22,000. So if I go in and look, it'll tell me I don't have enough money. So, but it's only it's 24, so we're only 2,000 away. In addition to that, if we go to the construction menu, we're going to be adding the production, the sugar mill, which is this one. Nope, that's oil. That's sugar. $80,000 for the sugar mill. So now we're up to $105,000. And if I need the extra storage, the seller here is $55,000, and that $55,000 will hold 100,000 liters of extra product. I could change my silo in the game files to be able to store bulk, but that's not very realistic, so I'm not going to go that way. I just don't know for sure how much the sugar factory can hold in sugar beets. So that we will find out and play by ear. We'll just keep selling stuff until we have enough money. It's like the story of this series. So I will jump in the truck and we'll get the eggs loaded up and go get those sold. And it would appear as though, I think we set off 5 pallets before. Yeah, that's right, 5, and we have an additional 4, so that's 9 pallets total. Alright, and we'll just head directly across the street to the fast food. Can't see where I'm going. And I would say this is probably going to get us 50,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. So we're going to have to sell, I would say, at least 1 full load of silage. And then we'll have to play it by ear beyond that for the seller if we need it. But we need 105,000 minimum. So those are selling. What do we get to? Maybe 75, fingers crossed. Still going. 76. So we got 54,000. So that works. And we'll just park this back where it goes. Very uneventful trip. That's how we like it sometimes. And then I'll just get in the John Deere. Here we go. We already have the bale loader trailer in the field with a couple of bales on it that are good to go. We'll just need to pick up 20, 21 more bales to go with it. And those other bales, I can leave them where they are. I'll need to remember when I fertilize the wheat to put a second application of fertilizer on the grass as well, because it's really bailing me out in this money situation. So all of the bales in the field are not ready yet. They're still technically grass bales, but this row off to the side were the ones that we've already previously done. And hopefully I'll be able to get this accomplished without making a mess of it, but there's a fair chance that's going to happen anyway. See how it picks the bales out. It'll take a minute to get all of these. At least it's picking up from both rows, which is nice. So I'll go ahead and fill up this trailer with these bales and head over to, I believe it's going to be the farmer's market. Silage was animal dealer. We'll go to the animal dealer. So I'll finish loading up the trailer here and head over to the animal dealer, and then we'll check back in and see what kind of money we got. Alright, y'all, so we're here at the animal dealer. About to sell this load, see what we can get for it. And it's going to net us 30 and 6, 42, 48. 48. So that gives us a grand total of 125, which is enough to cover the sugar mill and the harvester. So we'll start with that. So we'll head back over, then we can lease the harvester, clear a spot for the sugar mill, or we'll grade it out a little and maybe do some landscaping, and then we can continue the sugar beet harvest to fill it up. Seems like even at 26 miles an hour, it takes forever. Alright. So I'll just put this in the field. There's a 50-50 chance I'm going to have to sell more bales, which is not ideal, but we still have the lettuce that we can sell when it's at its best, and the honey. Where are we at with the honey? Oh yeah, we have a lot of pallets of honey. That's awesome. I'm just going to leave this here, and if we don't need it, I can put it up at the end of the episode. So we'll go into the store and lease the sugar beet harvester. It's a big machine. Header comes with it, so there's no separate lease for the header. So we'll lease this. Yep, it was 24. We'll head over to the store and pick it up. Yeah, that's a beast of a machine. It might be tight to get it to turn in the field on the ends next to the train tracks and whatnot, but it'd be fun. At least it has some decent travel speed too, unlike the cotton harvester. I think this will do 20-25 miles an hour. So I'm going to start at the close end, up near the dirt road, because that's where I want to put the sugar mill. So I'll start in that area, and I'll probably harvest until this machine is full, clear as much of the field going the short direction as I can. Once we place the sugar mill, then I'll run the long distance up and down. So, and it looks like this field has a little bit of a dip in the middle, so I will make sure I smooth out before I put the sugar mill in, so we don't have any weird lumps, hopefully. So I'm just going to go back and forth across this way and work to the left as much as I can before it fills up, and then we'll place the sugar mill. got a full load. And now we will place the sugar mill. Right, so the first thing I want to do is, because I kind of feel like this goes downhill a little, I want to level it out so that I don't wind up with a big bump at the side of my factory. So as long as I level it out and then put the factory, then I can play with smoothing it later. So we will go to the construction menu and here, and nope, not there, there, construction, and then go to landscaping. First of all, we'll level, and then we'll try and soften the edges. So this is level, and I want to make it level to here. So we'll just, yeah, see how it's kind of filling it in. Because this part will all become asphalt. Then we can kind of take the soften a little smaller through here, just to try and get rid of any hump that's there. And we can play with this more later. I just want it to be far enough away from the sugar mill that it's not going to mess it up later. And then production, and which one is it? That one, sugar mill. Oh yeah, we got enough room. That's awesome. So to make it easy, I think what I'd like to do is get around a little bit. I'd like to have, yep, the spawn pallets facing that way. Get it lined up a little better. Maybe like that. Perfect. Then our dump location is here. It looks like we'll get out of this and go walk around. Yep, looks like we're nice and level. Then we can oh, is my mouse? Yeah, a little bit. Then we can replant up to it with more sugar beets for the next go round, so we don't have any corners that are up in the air. That's always good. Pretty good. It won't let me walk into the spawn point, I mean into the dump point, which is weird. Nope, it will now. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll dump this first full load in and see how much that fills it up. And some weird reactions with my keyboard here. Well, oh. Our battery's dying? We'll see if it continues to act up. So to unload, we'll pipe out. And then we should be able to pull just over to the dump point. So that full was 40,000 liters, I want to say. I could entirely be wrong. But we will know as soon as we check it. It's definitely a lot of sugar beets. Go to the productions. So, and now we'll go to the sugar mill. And it's 45,000 liters of sugar beets. Looks like it may be able to hold 500,000-ish. 2 liters to 1 on the beets to sugar. I'm going to say that's roughly 10%. I'm not sure if we're going to fill it up or not. Okay, so we will, that's on storing sugar beet sugar. We'll activate it. So we are now making sugar. Awesome. Okay. Well, I guess the next order of business is going to be to get the rest of these sugar beets harvested and see exactly how much it can hold. My guess is 500,000. So that would be, if that's the case, then we probably will not have a need for the cellar, but we just won't know until we get done. So I'll continue to get these harvested, and once we've got everything clear, we'll see what we're looking at in terms of capacity. Alright guys, that just about does it for the sugar beet harvest. We've got some little strips and areas we missed. We'll pick those up really quick. But for the most part, I think we probably got the sugar mill to maybe 60% full. There really turned out to be no concern about needing to have extra storage space. So we'll just loop around and catch these pieces that we missed. Got that one strip down the middle. We're at 88%, so we should have plenty of room to pick all that up. Do a wide turn here. Get this, and then there's 2 or 3 little areas you can get before we dump the last load and return the harvester. Really helpful in this harvester to just turn it off when you're trying to turn around, because the speed difference of 20 miles an hour makes it a heck of a lot easier to, or faster at least, to get turned around. Definitely going to have rocks in this field when we subsoil it. I think now and forever this will just be the sugar beet field, because we have the sugar factory in the corner of it. We will see if it can process all of this sugar beet. If it can take more, we may wind up having a second nearby, a secondary sugar beet field just to keep it full and running all the time. So that could definitely happen. The problem is you only want to have about as much sugar beet as the factory can hold, because it'll always harvest all at the same time or within 2 months. So, if let's say this field did 50%, maybe we could buy the field to the right and make it a sugar beet field. It all boils down to how much can the factory hold and how long does it take for it to process that amount of crop. Let's see if we can grab this in one shot. I think we did. Even if there's one little bit. Nope, we're good. So that's it for the sugar beet harvest. I don't have a grand total, but we'll know somewhere close by how much is in the mill. Did I not get close enough? Oh. Yeah, I think I was just on the edge of the trigger. There you go. Dump all of those. Then we'll be able to see what our grand total is. Alright. 15% left. And so we'll have already processed a small amount of the sugar beets. But we have 200,000 liters. We have 600 liters of sugar, so that would have been another 1,200. So maybe, yeah, we could afford to have another field this sized of sugar beets. That would most definitely turn into an off-camera harvest, but you know, we could do it. So it only, well, just at 50%. May still need a cellar to keep the overrun. So we'll see. So it does look like the capacity is probably 400,000, maybe 350. So another field could happen because I have a feeling it's going to cycle. This is 12,000 cycles a month. So I'm thinking that it would drop. I don't know. We'll just have to see. We'll see how it works out. So we'll definitely be replanting the current field as sugar beets, and then maybe some extra field, small field somewhere. All right, so we're gonna get this return. I kind of got behind the 8 ball on my timer, but I have a feeling this is already running into a long episode. Do we have any pallets yet? We don't. So that 600 is just what it has processed since we started putting sugar beets in it. We'll get this returned, and then we'll be able to go back over to the farm, and we'll probably put up the bale trailer because it's not, we're not going to need to sell anymore. I suppose I could pick up bales out of the field first, but it's really not going to hurt anything to let them sit there. I just like to put all of my tractors and things away before we finish. See, to me, this 27 miles an hour feels faster than doing 27 in the tractor for some reason. I can't place it. Maybe it's the size of it. So we'll get this return. Also, the other thing I wanted to look at that I didn't before we do this is, let's just go ahead and say we had 200,000 liters of sugar beets, which will make 100,000 liters of sugar at the best sell price. Sugar is worth $1,600 liters. I can't do that math in my head. Pop up the calculator. 1,600. It's $160,000 worth of sugar. I could have done that math in my head, my bad. That would cover the cost. I mean, this first run, even buying the factory, could net us around 50,000. So not bad. And then the next field, we're not buying the factory. So that's good stuff. All right. To the store, to the least, get rid of this bad boy, and return. And I'll head back to the farm. We can put this away. So I'll just park it over here next to the honey again. No reason not to. I'm definitely going to have to look into more storage options soon. Well, that was a horrible job of backing up. Of course, what else have you come to expect from me, really? I want it in the grass, the tall grass. Oh, that'll work for now. We'll get this put away. I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. We're now in the sugar business. We just have to wait to see how much money we're going to make. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And until next time, take care.